Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. What a ridiculous day of Call of Duty action we've just had. The first day of the tourneys, it was basically 3-0 all across the boards. Today, the amount of series that went down to the wire, just beyond belief. Still taking it somewhat easy on the voice. It'll get better in the coming days, I'm sure, but plenty to discuss today. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Really upset the channel. Tomorrow's Championship Sunday. 4 teams remain as of when you guys are watching this video. We'll cover the Seattle versus Los Angeles Guerrillas series tomorrow. First of all, did have to mention the fact that the Challengers kind of side of things has been going on. The top 4 here get to go to the Prime Classic. These are surprising teams that place top 24, especially the Rokkr Academy. These guys kind of dib to be maybe one of those 4 teams. They fall out top 24. Disappointing from those guys. Some teams have now officially qualified. I believe when this video goes live, all the teams will have been confirmed, including Denza, Wardy, Weeman and Maple, the other kind of top team from the European region. So I'm honestly crazy some of these teams that managed to make it through. We'll discuss that in more detail tomorrow, but you know, look, we've got to dive into these professional CDL matches because wow, what a set of series we had. Game 1, OpTic versus Los Angeles Thieves. Honestly, a remarkable series from start to finish. It kind of felt like OpTic were the much better team over the course of the 5 maps, but it just did not go their way early on. Then they flipped a switch. Of course, the OpTic guys dropping down to losers after their shock 3-0 defeat to Seattle Surge. They play Los Angeles Thieves. This honestly should have been OpTic's game 1. I don't think there's any real excuse to lose this map from OpTic's perspective. They were outslaying them dramatically early on. Shotzzy was making some ridiculous plays, and then just towards the end, Thieves turn it around, they win a couple of rotations, they get pretty much all the crucial kills, and they manage to win this game 250 to, well, 230-ish, something along those lines. Really a map that OpTic should have won. Thieves clutch up, in fairness to them, they take it. Kind of surprising that Thieves, out of nowhere, seem to develop some sort of clutch factor right at the start of the series, and of course yesterday against the subliners as well. But OpTic certainly switched on as the series would indeed progress. This also just to mention in the Search and Destroy, they brought this up on stream, right? The fact that, you know, the frustrations with the crowd giving away some of the situations. Basically, they're saying, look, you're going to be asked to leave the building if you give any of this stuff away. And probably the highlight of this tournament so far comes in the Search and Destroy. None other than Shotzzy. He's absolutely done it again. Look at this. Honestly, there's so much to break down about this play. Not just Drazah flying off the top like Crimsix did in Black Ops Card War. You guys remember that 1v1 Crim versus Clay on Checkmate. He flew out the window and got guns. Not sure what Drazah's playing at, but just the way Shotzzy plays is spectacular, right? He sees the kind of the legs of Octane, I guess, takes his time with the first gunfight, knows exactly where the second player is going to be, and Kenny gets him as well, then spins back onto Drazah. Just an honestly beautiful clip that helps them get back into contention in the game too, but it does not help them go on to win the map because the round 11 was absurd, goes all the way down to it, and it was Drazah, I believe, that just had the balls to hop on the defuse. The OpTic guys weren't able to check in time. That's the thing when you do plant that bomb site, is that you know, you do have to worry about the ninja defuse coming in. That's exactly what happens. Octane also this map we have to mention goes 0 in 9 for the win. This is something just very rarely seen, that you can drop a donut and win a map. I believe it happened. I mean, the kind of classic example is none other than Classic back in the Call of Duty Ghost days, where he goes this 0 in 11 scoreline that you guys can see for winning this map. But Octane pretty much does the same thing. In fairness, this might be one of the best donuts you're ever going to see. He had more damage than Scump did, even though Scump got 6 kills, he got 0, had a load of assists as well. But yeah, Octane a 0 bomb, a donut for the win in this game to Search and Destroy. And furthermore, the second time in a couple of days, OpTic find themselves down 2-0. Can they possibly claw this one back? And in fairness to them, like, Nature was getting pretty excited. What a round for the boys. That's what World Championships are made of. It doesn't really work out like that. Then we go to this control, and the music guy was actually putting their music on before the game had even ended, because OpTic were dominating it so hard. This is kind of what we expected in the respawns this series from OpTic. We certainly saw it game 3, game 4. Arguably should have done game 1, but Thieves put up great resistance. Scum had a crazy play towards this final round. They dominate the control from start to finish. Put their first map over the board, of course, and then they go to a Berlin hardpoint, where there's been all this talk from the OpTic guys that they're super confident on this map, and they showed exactly why right here. They go to this one, they destroy Los Angeles Thieves off the face of the earth. Dashy goes 36 in 12 across this map. Like, that is unheard of. I'm pretty sure he had a minute and a half in Hill as well. He was doing it all. Like, honestly, him and Shotzzy this series were, I mean, look, Scum and Lee were playing their parts, but those two were the ones really just frying the opposition. Dashy 36 and 12, finishes the game on another 5 streak. 1 minute 30 in Hill. He's absolutely loving it and taking all this confidence into the game 5. A game 5 where they do manage to win. Los Angeles Thieves were up 4-2 at a time here, but OpTic play, honestly, the last 4 rounds they played reminded me so much of that kind of stage 1 major or major 1 OpTic, where they were so good at getting first bloods, converting it with the mid-round calls, and then just finishing out the job. So remarkable stuff. OpTic complete the reverse sweep. Questions going to be raised about Thieves, of course, as a result of this, but OpTic remain like the iciest team in the league, to be honest. It seems, at least in situations like this. Thieves Thieves come top 8, $10,000 earned. The question mark is, to me, to be perfectly honest, this team now has come top 6 in the first major and top 8 now in the second major. And if you look at this series, really, OpTic could have won this one 5-0 looking back at it, to be perfectly honest. These are the overall series stats. Kenny doesn't have a great one with a 0.66. But yeah, questions are going to be raised. The intention of this team was to win championships. They've come top 6, top 8 their first 2 events. Surely that's not going to cut it. They've got basically a month to consider their options. So the next series, the winner of this one would get top 3 at the event, that between the Boston Breach and the Mutineers. Another series I thought early on this is going to be pretty comfortable for them. Game 1, they win the Gavutu pretty simply. Like your Methods goes off on the main stage once again. His stats lately have been like the best in the entire world. It's honestly ridiculous what this guy is doing. Every single series he seems to play, and game 2 they closed out as well. 2-0 series lead. At this point they're thinking, okay, wow, fair play, 6-4 on this Berlin. Probably they're going to close out the series, but looking much better on the Gavutu control lately as well, with a change to ticks for round 5 as opposed to just kills. But if Mutineers come out and just actually, don't worry about it, we'll dominate you on the Gavutu control. We'll take you to a map 4 as well. We'll win that also on the Berlin. Honestly, Dave Paddy turned up massively towards the end of this game on a 7 streak, take you to a game 5, but Boston managed to just about get over the line regardless. Crazy series, they stave off the reverse sweep. Mutineers clearly not particularly competent at all on Desert Siege here, and well, Boston Breach are pretty good at this map. They win at 6-1 in the end, take the series, and Boston Breach with the 2 rookies on the team, Methods, TJ, like this team of kind of misfits effectively, they guarantee themselves a winner's final spot, and that means a top 3 placement at minimum this tournament. Remarkable scenes, really happy for the guys, but I'm sure they would say the job is not yet finished. Methods with the 1.29, like a pretty even stuff across the board, to be perfectly honest, but no doubt good work from the guys over at the Boston Breach. Here we go then, Seattle Surge versus Atlanta FaZe. Another, honestly, the first 2 series were ridiculous. This one was out of control as well. The series begins on, what was it, a Tuscan hardpoint, right, where it's early on, it's really back and forth, and then Mack in the middle of the game, or effectively the game just crashes, the game lobby is closed. We're like, what's going on? We look at the kind of pan view, and we see this basically sick bag coming out onto the stage, for Mack was basically throwing up mid-map 1. They ended the game, and there was initially talk about, okay, could Classic, right, brought on a Seattle substitute, be subbing in for this series, that effectively the FaZe Reaper, right, he'd killed FaZe last year at stage 5. Ogre 2 even reckons that if he's not mistaken, he was the one earlier today eating some absolutely foul-smelling meals. Not really sure what Minnesota guys, what they're feeding him here, but apparently like they're to remove him from the warm-up room because he was eating that stuff, so maybe that's what caused it, who really knows. But again, he was obviously unwell. The initial thought was, okay, Classic's gonna have to sub in. This is what he did to them at the stage 5 major when Seattle beat Atlanta FaZe then, when Classic was on the team. Now he's back in the roster on the sub bench. We thought he was probably going to come in given this situation, but Mack is okay, he feels better, give it a go for a kind of Jordan flu game, and he does that in space, to be honest. The game 4 especially, Mack was absurdly good, but game 1, FaZe win the hardpoint. I did wonder, given all the circumstances, if FaZe would just come in here and handle business 3-0, but like they're just so much less ruthless than I feel like they have been in previous, not iterations of the team, but last year they were way more ruthless than this. They win the game 1, game 2 they should have probably closed out. Tuscan Search and Destroy, FaZe I believe went up 3-0. They've kind of make a habit, to be honest, of kind of choking Search and Destroy advantages. They almost do it game 5 as well, but yeah, Surge 5-0 on Tuscan, they win that game 2. The control though, pretty comfortable in the end for FaZe. They win this Gavutu, they win a nice offense round 2, they take the rest of the map, and then it goes to a Bakaja map where Atlanta FaZe are very good, but Mack melts. I think Aches was calling him Yak melts, or like a yo, no Yak, no Mack, or something was better, I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny, but yeah, Mack drops 47 kills in this game 4 to take them to the game 5. He was absolutely having his way with Atlanta FaZe, and yeah, that's enough to get them to a Berlin. They go up 5-4 as well in this game 5. I believe it was 4-1 at a time for FaZe, then it was 5-4 to Seattle. FaZe win it to take it to a round 11, and then Arcitys goes massive inside of the bomb sites, gets a kill on Sib, and despite a nice couple of clutches, some accuracy early on isn't enough to send them through. So the curse is broken, I guess, for the FaZe guys. They get past Seattle for the first time in a very long time. Tough loss to take for those guys, but after all the shenanigans, FaZe will get top 3. They'll play Boston Breach tomorrow to determine the team that goes through to the grand finals from the winner's side. Similar story to what we usually see from the FaZe side, to be honest, in the post-series stats. Cellium's got a 1.30, plus 24, 105 kills. aBeZy, though, with the most damage in the lobby, at least on the FaZe side, right behind Sib, actually, with 13k. And here we go, then, the final series we're going to cover in this video, OpTic Texas up against the Florida Mutineers. Very interesting series. Before it even began, I was kind of wondering what the veto situation was going to be like here. They play a double Gavutu, especially the Gavutu hardpoint. I think it makes sense OpTic went down that route, but yeah, as it turned out, I mean, the end of the game is honestly ridiculous. We'll talk about that here in a second. Also, a map that Florida's pretty good at. The question mark to me was around the Desert Siege ban in Search and Destroy. That's a map that Florida haven't even won yet. So like by banning that that out was kind of interesting, really, I thought, for the OpTic guys, getting rid of that, given they could have played Desert Siege in this series, where they seem pretty confident, and Florida are absolutely woeful, as we saw against Boston. So, again, interesting veto decisions, I thought, from the OpTic side, and then the game 1 begins, and then we get a stay tuned situation. Once again, the game just crashes. It's just shambolic, isn't it? Like, we're on LAN, all these viewers, all this money, and the game just crashes for no reason when they're up. Like, you know, there's a significant portion already into the game. It was like 110, 120. They have to go for a reset. The reset, though, was absolutely ridiculous. This happened towards the end. OpTic made a great comeback on the final few hardpoints, put Florida in the absolute blender, go back to a P1, and they get the perfect break. Scump, like, everyone on OpTic dies. Scump stays alive, makes a phenomenal play to get all the kills, or at least to help his teammates to get all the kills. They clear everyone out their hardpoint, and at this point, you're looking, okay, alright, well, Florida have, like, basically 5-10 seconds to get back in the hill. Unlikely they'll even be able to get there in time, but it's Call of Duty Vanguard, so of course they do. And this spawn from number 8 is pretty much unforgivable. Like, number 3 here, all the other OpTic guys are in the hill. Surely number 8 and the rest of the kind of the Florida guys should not spawn on the same side that number 3 is. They should spawn over here, like 100%. They don't, for whatever reason. And then, of course, given the way squad spawns work, his entire team spawns on him. OpTic have no idea they're going to be behind him. And, well, it's actually Florida who close out this game. A genuinely ridiculous affair. Like, look at this play that Scum makes. Gets 1, 2, pretty much helps his team get all the 3 kills. They bring this time back. Florida just about get into the hardpoint, though, towards the end after those crazy spawns come through. And it's Florida who take the game. It was so hectic. Like, yeah, this P1, Florida, in fairness to them, clutched up. But honestly, without the spawn, which is pretty much unpredictable for the OpTic sides, they probably go on to win this map. So lots to talk about that, to be honest. Even this from Nadeshot, the spawn logic deserves a prison sentence. If that didn't happen, they probably win this game 1 because they know where they're coming from, can set up for them better. Like, with a crazy spawn, like, I don't know how you even meant to predict that. But it happens, and that's Call of Duty Vanguard. And to be honest, it felt like the OpTic guys kind of got in their heads a little bit. That game 1, they go into the game 2. Skies goes like 11-2 or something pretty crazy. They win a dominant Berlin search and destroy. So fair play. OpTic decent at this map, but Florida certainly pretty comfortable on it. You do have to question the kind of the Desert Siege pick. I'm not sure what would have been replaced, rather, whether it would have been a Berlin search, whether a Tuscan search, but they could have considered a Desert Siege in this series. They don't. They go down 2-0 again. That's not really something that OpTic have done at all throughout the regular stage here in Major 2 qualifiers, and they've gone 2-0 down 2-0 many times this tournament. The only team they didn't go down 2-0 against was up against Minnesota, of course. Down 2-0 again, but of course, a Gavutu control, they're just so good at control in general, and especially this map. They win this one pretty comfortably. Take it to a game 4, and it was a Berlin hardpoint, and I was thinking, okay, wow, is it going to be deja vu from the LA Thieves series, where they play a Gavutu control, win that one, play a Berlin hardpoint, win that one, and then play a Tuscan search and destroy, win that one to close out the reverse sweep. Doesn't happen though. Florida go off on this final game. They win the series. It was honestly a really impressive performance by them here on the Berlin. And again, like, some interesting questions there, because Shotzzy seems super confident, as to the rest of the guys. They're very good at Berlin. They believe behind the scenes in practice, super confident on that map. But, you know, didn't really translate into this particular series. And Florida Mutineers, of all the teams that could make a run like this, they make it all the way to top 4. So OpTic Texas, after, you know, number 1 seed, didn't lose, barely lost any maps coming into this major. They definitely did not look like their normal selves. They showed some signs of life, especially in the Thieves series earlier today. But again, going down 2-0, you're not going to win a tournament going down 2-0 every single time you play. And in fairness, that 2-0 down probably could have been avoided if those spawns don't come in on like Gavutu, but like, definitely not the kind of incredibly dominant team we saw at Major 1 here. They've got a lot of work to do. Incredibly difficult, as always, it is to go back to back, but I'm definitely surprised they come top 6. I thought they would at least make Championship Sunday. Lots more to discuss on this, I am sure, in the coming days, but very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.